Hey everybody, it's Annette. I literally just got home. I think this is the first video I've done in this car. So, some lawnmowers and stuff going on in the background. I hope you will be okay with that because it's a little hot when I roll up the windows, and I didn't feel like running the air because of the background noise. So, we started off at, I don't know, it's been like really cold in the morning, cold during the day, and then really hot at night. We have a couple of hours of hot and then it gets cold. So just working around all that, rather have would rather have perfect weather, but it's not custom designed. So at least the one thing I can say, being positive, is that it's not 89 to 90 degrees in the south because we have the humidity on top of that. But I just wanted to address something today. I have referenced in some of my videos that I was taking cream from the dermatologist, that I had a skin condition, and it's not something I really wanted to talk about. So now that it's spreading some and it's my new reality, well, newer reality. It's been my reality since March of 2024, and it's really taken off and spread recently. So I have a skin condition, and it took me a while to learn how to pronounce this name. It's vitiligo. Started off on my back, like 3 white spots. I was like, what is this? And I told my girlfriend at work, and she nailed it right off. So I made an appointment with the dermatologist, who did confirm that's what it was, gave me cream, and I said, as long as it's on my back, and the cream seemed to be helping at first, it seemed to kind of hold it at bay. I said, as long as it's on my back, I can deal with that. I said, I'm just really concerned about my face because, I mean, the face, that's our identity. Our skin, the largest organ in our body, on our body, it's our identity. We don't pick the skin that we're in. And I love the olive complexion I inherited from my dad. And I think a lot of people genuinely are very satisfied with their skin. We're all different shades and colors, and thank God for that. God made a beautiful world, and if everything was the exact same thing, it would be so dull. So I do have vitiligo, and it has been spreading. I will try to take some photos and post those so that you can see. I'll need to put a swimsuit on because it's primarily on my back. I do have one spot, I'm taking my hand off the camera, coming up here on my forehead that started in 2025. Recently, I started getting a spot on my hand. So I am new to this journey. I mean, I was new in 2024, but 3 spots that weren't really doing anything, and the cream was helping, the steroid cream was helping, was no big whoop. It wasn't worth talking about at that time. But now that I started off this YouTube channel as the healing journey, when I got the PRP for my knees, well, now I'm just on a different journey, or an additional journey. Still, navigating some of the side effects from having been in a car accident. So the one consistency across the board from what I've been studying is suspected autoimmune disorder. And the other thing that I hear reiterated a lot is stress. And overall, working in the garden and meditating in the evening before I go to bed, I was like, okay, how am I supposed to stop stress and I'll be in a coma? Well, then it kind of like clicked that the way it sped up was timed with the car accident. After I had the car accident, and my stress levels, rightly so, were out the roof. I was in a lot of pain. I had a paid off car that was completely destroyed. There was a lot of stress. So I can understand there might be a link to that. And then the vitamin D deficiency. So I have my routine PCP appointment tomorrow with my lab work. And I did the thing you do online. You pre-check in and answer everything. And then just when you go to the doctor, you just make your copay and then you can get on with your life. You don't have to fill out a million things. So I went ahead and took care of all that, added that as a new condition with the start origin date of March of 2024. I'm going to talk to my PCP about it. There have been the doctors in the videos I've been seeing online are there's some things I'm finding consistent with that vitamin D deficiency and then stress. And also, sorry, my Wi Fi got disconnected for a minute. I got confused. And also, recommendations for light therapy. So, I have saved a link to a light therapy that can be used at home if my doctor determines that might be a road for me to go down. And then I wrote down what I call the recipe that the doctors are recommending, which is high doses of vitamin D and then zinc and then copper. I think they all have to kind of work together to do whatever they need to do. So as I learn what I'm dealing with, and as I'm navigating this, I'll just be transparent with you and share what I learn and what works for me and what doesn't work and what I try that might be a complete and utter failure. I will want to make a note of it that my mother did have it. It was on her arms as I was growing up. As she got older, it did go to her face. My mother was lighter complexion. I'm olive complexion. It's not a great honking stand out, but still, this is part of my identity. And people who have darker skin and suffer from this disease really, I think, struggle more because you can really tell. I mean, if you've got dark skin and then you end up with white patches on that dark skin, it will be way noticeable. It's gonna just kind of just jump out at you. But it's something you can't help, but something we can work on to see how we can manage it. So it is hereditary from my mother's side. My cousin showed me last year his arms. He's starting to get it on his arms, and he is in his upper 50s. And I showed him the spot that was coming on my forehead. And that's why I don't wear a lot of heavy makeup, because darker the makeup is, the more those white spots stand out. I don't know what you would need to cover them up with as far as makeup goes. I would imagine it would have to be something very thick, and I really don't want that all over my skin if I can help it. I also have reached out to an herbalist that I met at the Herb Fest in April. She was the lady who had the cancer on her face and cured the cancer on her face using her own products, her own herbal products. So I did direct message her on Facebook, on her business on Facebook. I'm also going to send her an email to find out if perhaps her product might work for that. The one I bought does help with a lot of skin conditions. I tried to have my husband apply some to my back the other night, but it was one of those brown bottles with the orifice diffuser. I could not get the oil to come out. So I went downstairs and I have a little container of glass brown bottles with the droppers for serums and other things I might want to mix later. So I'm just going to see if I can pop off the orifice diffuser and if one of those bottle tops will work on it. The ones that have the squeeze tops, and then they have the little vial in there and you just suck up your oil or your liquid or whatever. In this case, it's the oil. And if I can do that, I'm going to have him start applying that to my back. But I will discuss that with my PCP and I want to see if that dose, it's a pretty high dose of vitamin D. Obviously, you only take it for a month or two, and it's supposed to have a 25 to 75% success rate. Again, we're all built different. We all have different body chemistries. So this is what I have. And the things that I mentioned are some of the things I'm considering treating it, because it's now time to shift into a more serious mode with it now that it is spreading, and the stress probably did cause a chemical imbalance that did not help this. I was not thinking at the time I had a destroyed car and was in incredible amount of pain. I was not thinking about my skin and how stress might affect that in a negative way. So it is a reality. I am facing it now, and I'm speaking publicly about it. And I will share with you because I know from reading some of the other comments on some of the boards that the doctors do, and the doctors who are talking about the treatments, if there are patients who have their videos on YouTube on what they're doing and what works, I have not found that yet because I'm very, very new to researching some of this and learning about this disorder. So if there's thousands of them already out there, that's great. That's more people who can offer support, and I can assure you, you're not alone, because the comments I see under these videos, many, many people suffer from this. I do not have the stats. I'm certain they're on some of these videos. Stats, to me, are only beneficial in this case because it lets us know we're not alone, that other people are struggling with this. And it's really a difficult thing to deal with because, again, this is our identity. Our skin is our identity. And especially the people who suffer from it on their face, who have the darker skin, it is very traumatic for them, and it can start in children. I never knew this. I never knew it could start, you know, 11, 12, 13 years old. Think back to when you were that age. That would be just devastating. And some of these kids who've received treatment and have gotten better are way better off mentally. And then the ones who, it was really sad because the ones who had it, who were struggling with it regardless of their skin color or complexion, some of them did have dark thoughts. And thank God it appears that they're getting treatment that they need. I don't know what their current success rate is or their condition, but it's a very difficult thing. At my age, it's still difficult. I think we all have these insecurities, no matter how old we are, albeit I will give it to the preteens and teenagers, that would be very, very difficult. And I truly empathize with them because there's so many things they're dealing with in normal life, going to school, being around people. There's enough crap to deal with when you're that age. And then if you're dealing with something like this, that would be just really tough. So my heart and prayers definitely go out to them. So I will just continue to update you. We'll still talk about herbs and homesteading and all the things we normally talk about, the anxiety, depression, traveling. I'm not going to stray from that and just only make this my focus, but for a sense of maybe opening up myself to you and being transparent about that. If you are someone who is suffering from that, we can just kind of virtually hold hands through this and walk this path together. And I'm happy to discuss as I learn what I learn and how it works. Until then, you are all beautiful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are unique. God loves you, and I love you too. Take care, everybody. Love you.